Modern Warfare 3 rank drops in just a couple of days, so with that, I've got the best weapons and classes to have you rocking with your socks off. So with this, I'll have a full class set up for ranked, the top 2 ARs, top 2 SMGs, top 2 pistols, and the top 2 snipers if we can use them. So to start with, I'll go through a full class setup and then we'll work through our weapons. So when it comes to the vest, the only one you'll be able to run in ranked will be the infantry vest. The rest will be banned, so you won't have to worry about that. For tacticals, again, we've got the stun, same as last year. You'll only have the stun grenade. For the lethals, you'll have the frag grenade and the Semtex, so whatever you prefer here is personal preference. Build upgrades, we'll have the trophy system and dead silence. So on account of us having dead silence and trophy system, same as Modern Warfare 2, to me that says covert sneakers will be out. They haven't put any word about covert sneakers being out, but I just feel like they will be banned in ranked play. So when it comes to the boots, I'm skipping ahead, but when it comes to the boots, the best options we have is the Stalker boots in my opinion. It increases strength and ADS movement speed. Or you can go with the tactical pads, which increases your slide velocity and it allows you to aim while you're sliding. It also increases your stance transition speed when you're sliding, so it makes it a lot more fluid. All three of these are a very good option. If we don't have covert sneakers, these two are great options, so either one of them will help you out. When it comes to the gloves, the best options here, it really depends on what you're using. Using a sniper or even an AR, you're running the marksman gloves, which reduces sway and flinch while ADS. But if you're running and gunning using an SMG or running around with an AR, you want to run the assault gloves, which while jumping, accuracy and time to ADS is improved. So this really helps out with that movement and benefits you. As for the last piece of gear, you've probably got 3 options. We'll have the tac mask, we've got EOD padding, and we'll also have mag holster. Not 100% on mag holster. I didn't see, this wasn't in the ban list, but so it should be there. But if for some reason it isn't, you'll only have tac mask or EOD. But mag holsters are a great one to improve that reload speed. Otherwise, you've got EOD because grenades freaking hit hard in this one. Moving over to our ARs, in our number 1 spot, I've got the MCW. So for the build for this, I've got the second line mammoth heavy barrel to increase our range and movement speed. Got the X10 ported 290 muzzle to increase our recoil control significantly at a reduction to our ADS. I've got the high velocity ammunition here again to increase our bullet velocity by 20% at a 5% reduction to our effective range. I've got the A90 Venom stock to increase our mobility significantly at a slight reduction to our recoil control. And lastly, I've got the MK3 reflector sight, which is a nice clean blue dot. When it comes to optics, it's all personal preference, but I personally think the MK3 reflector is probably the best option here. It's a nice clean blue dot. There's not much in the screen, and they have found that this thing does reduce a bit of visual recoil. You can pick any other one. There is the Chrono Mini Pro, which is a good option, or the Slate reflector. You take this in the firing range, it's got a very easy to control recoil, quick movement, and aim down sight speed, and super easy to control. Moving over to the SVA for our second option here, I've got the STV precision barrel to increase our range and recoil control. We've got the Casus brake muzzle to increase our horizontal recoil control at a slight reduction to our ADS speed. Got the skeletal vertical grip to help out with our recoil control and get our handling back a little bit with the ADS and sprint to fire speed at a slight reduction to our horizontal and our hip fire spread. Got the MK3 reflector here again, and I've got the main V6 stock to help out massively with that gun kick control, horizontal and vertical recoil at a slight reduction to our sprint to fire and our sprint speed. It's not too bad to control. It's just after the first 20 bullets it starts pumping up over to the left. But the best thing about this one is if you're struggling over range, you can just burst it. It does a double shot every time you pull the trigger, and it kills very quick, and there's no recoil when you're bursting this weapon. So when you've got the first few targets, you can just hold it, then you've got the last one, you can just burst them down. Alright, make sure you hit the sub button, it'll really help me out. Cheers. Moving over to our subbies, and my personal choice is the Rival 9. So for the barrel, I've got the clear shot barrel to help out with that range and recoil control. We've got the T4LR Saber compensator to help out with that horizontal recoil control. There's a lot of recoil with this weapon. Got the Bruin heavy support underbarrel grip again for that recoil control. We've got the Rival assault grip for more recoil control, and I've got the EXF close quarter assault stock for that recoil control again. As you see, all of these attachments help out with that recoil control, and they do reduce our ADS speed and other things. But if you look at our ADS speed, it's only at 235 millisecond response time, so it's still very low, but if you take this thing into the firing range, you'll find the movement is still on point. Aim down sight is instant, and because of that, we can shoot this thing out to massive ranges and control it very well with all that recoil control. When it comes to this thing's recoil, it's just a slight left and right as you're heading up, so it's a lot more controlled than it would be. Right, for our second subby, I've got the WSP9. This is the one that Shotzzy runs. For the muzzle, we've got the L4R flash hider muzzle to help out with that recoil control. I've got the 32 round magazine here, as otherwise you've only got 25 rounds, and that really is not enough. Could probably bump it up to 40, but then you get a massive reduction to pretty much everything. We've got the Marauder grip for that recoil control again. I've got the WSP Classic factory stock for more recoil control, as this thing's got a little bit, and then I've got the reflex sight here. So when you take this thing into the firing range, super quick like the rest of them. The fire rate on this thing's a lot slower, but super easy to control. As you can see, a non-existent recoil control here. Now moving over the snipers, you've generally got the longbow, which will be a choice, but I'm not a big fan of longbow as I get a lot of hit markers. So my number one choice would be the KV inhibitor. So I put the Castovia Jex 40 barrel to increase that aim down sight speed on this thing, and we've got the SL skeletal vertical grip to increase that ADS speed and sprint to fire again here. Got the 5 round magazine. You can take this off, but it does increase all your handling and mobility a fair bit. We've got the broadside factory grip to increase all our mobility and handling again here. Don't really need to worry about recoil control when you're using a sniper. And I've got the Ivan Woodstock to again to increase all our handling. This thing almost aims in as fast as the longbow, but this thing does hit a lot harder, so we get a lot more one hits. So movement speed's not too bad with this thing, and super easy to use and fire. Moving over to the other one, this is more for the bolt action boys. So we've got the XRK Stalker. So for the barrel, I've got the Handler LKP short barrel to increase our mobility and handling. I've got the high velocity ammunition, as there's not really much else you can put on this for the 5th attachment. So let's increase that bullet velocity because it does have a very low bullet velocity. I've got the XRK Stalker factory grip to increase that aim down sight speed and sprint to fire speed. Got the XRK Stalker light bolt to increase that rate of fire and rechamber time. And we've got the Helix LV light stock again to increase that aim down sight speed. This thing, it's a little bit slower to use, tiny bit slower with the aim down sight, but still pretty quick. But it still gets them shots down range pretty damn quick. Moving over to the pistols, we've got 2 options. So first up, we've got the Core 45, which is a really great weapon. This thing hits hard. I've got the Hole Punch Breacher just to increase that mobility, gives you a slight increase. Got the 18 round magazine, as this thing only runs 14 at stock, and I just find that's just not enough. We've got the XRK Lightning Fire trigger to increase our rate of fire by 87.5%. Got the Tactical Grip to help out with that sprint to fire speed and give you that pistol fast draw when you need quick transitions. And I've just got an optic on there because why not? You don't really need anything else with the pistols. The COR, it's decent movement, instant aim down sight speed, and you can take down targets at all ranges with this pistol. Moving over to our second option, which is the Renetti. So the build for this one, same thing, Hole Punch Breacher muzzle to increase that movement speed. Again, I've got a 24 round magazine, otherwise you only get about 3 or 4 bursts. This does increase your bursts a little bit, so the 24 round mag helps. Got the Bruin Express trigger to help out with that fire rate. This is the best you can get. Got the Renetti wood grain grip again for that pistol fast draw, and I've got the F-Tac status folding stock to help out with that recoil control on this one. So when you go into the firing range with this one, decent movement speed, does kill things. Boy, cheers for watching. Make sure you check out my video on everything we know about rank play so far. It has all the rules and regulations in there for rank play, and it'll probably help you out a little bit. Cheers. And for the stock, we've got the Crutalis Crotulence. The RB Crotulence assault rifle. Crotalus. Crotalus. Let's roll with that. I'm running Crotalus.
So we have decided that it will be the RB Crutchless Assault Rifle.